No!
Enough!
Not again!
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Get with that shit.
Fucking Bill, man.
Bill.
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 Bill. Wrestle Boys.
Hey, folks. Wrestle Boys again. We're still doing TNA.
Yeah. We're still here.
Yeah, we got Alli. We got Mega Fighter. Oh, shut up. You've had all the chances to quit after we fired you.
I wish I had.
You really should have fucking quit. You know that? You absolutely.
Like, really? Like, legit, we've given him so many. We fired him so many times. Roktan keeps coming back, and
Why
now
do
he's
you
running.
even let me come back? Why?
I don't
Why
know.
am I here?
Eight TNA pay-per-views should have been enough towards you. You at this point, you come back of your own volition.
Yeah.
Unless we fired you again.
I will
People
go on
listening to this show, you do not know. We are all suffering for your enjoyment.
Somehow the Bill chant was like one of the least bad parts about what happened yesterday.
He kept it going for
my
most of
God.
like the early parts.
Well, what happened was like I got a phone call from my psychiatrist and I had to leave, and then Mega Fighter stopped it like a coward.
Hey, you're the one who walked off first.
Not because I wanted to.
Sure.
So we start with a match. I believe this
Start
is
with a trios match.
Yes, a trios match. We have Joel, Jose, and the Amazing Red. They are the Spanish announce team.
So is that how you pronounce Joel in Spanish?
I feel like it's kind of like a Noel kind of thing.
Because yeah.
I immediately laughed at the name of the Spanish announce team.
Yeah, the Spanish announce team are cousins of Amazing Red, and they're still called the Spanish announce team to this day.
I genuinely don't even know why.
Why?
I don't know why. They've never announced anything.
They said they were going to explain it, but then they didn't.
They didn't explain why they were the Spanish announce team.
Yes.
I'm going to see if I can look it up. Because I'm...
And who else is going to wrestle, but Nashville's own, except one's from Samoa and the other's from Puerto Rico or whatever.
And one of them's from Georgia.
One of them's from Georgia. The Flying Elvises.
Flying Elvises are back.
Jimmy Yang's here.
I'm pretty sure this is the first week since the first pay-per-view that Yang has been on the show as part of the Flying
Yang was back
Elvises.
last week.
No, Yang's done run-ins.
Okay.
And he's done some matches. It's just it's very rare.
So
you guys explained to me that he had not been on the show because he was off in Japan. And when I noticed him on the show, I was thinking, you would think that being part of the group, he would at least come out with them.
They were part of a talent trade with the gay anal world champion Amore.
Yeah, so the gay world anal champion Amore. Yeah.
I still I'm stunned that that's even a thing.
So it was hard to talk about.
DDT Pro wants to have a gay world anal champion. That is their choice.
It is their decision. Anyway, this match was hard to watch, but not because it was bad. It was because Sonny Siaki insisted that he didn't need any help, so he was in the ring a lot, and we were forced to look at his ass.
Well, yeah, so we had to look away. We had to not look at his ass. We have kept to our word on that.
He said he was going to be mad if we looked.
Yeah, we don't want to upset Sonny Siaki.
So what's weird is he tells other people not to help. He tells everyone else not to help him. So the two other Elvises just go on commentary and just watch him in a 3-on-1 handicap match.
They got good mics this time. And it's where we noticed that fucking Jimmy Yang sounds like Heath Slater.
Hey guys, I'm Jimmy Yang.
I was like, oh my god, he sounds like Slater. I've never heard him talk before this point, so I was
I'm
like,
the
what?
one-man rock band because Elvis didn't really have a band. It was more just Elvis.
Well, he had a band, but it was more like a backing band than anything. It wasn't like an official like he had probably. He's just a solo artist with like a revolving door of people that work for him as
Some fucking
band
session
members.
boys.
So they talk about why they're not helping Sonny Siaki, and Jimmy Yang says he's thick in the head.
At one point in the match, Siaka did a really nice spinning neck breaker, which I thought was cool.
He did. That was a pretty good spinning neck breaker, but I did not look at his ass.
Siaki was the only one who didn't want to Elvis. He refused the tag in several times when like Jimmy Yang offered, but eventually they got the tag. And they sort of do this weird situation where they do their comeback, but not before Jorge Estrada gives his Elvis singing impersonation.
Yeah,
He's not confident in his singing.
He's not like his singing's not bad, but he was just like I don't know, like let me think of a song I can copy.
I found a new place to tell.
Elvis is a jailhouse rock. He's gonna jailhouse rock. How can you tell tonight?
Like a fucking kid trying to do like a church song.
Yeah, but it still feels like he's the only guy who's into that whole Elvis thing. So I
Like
decided
Jimmy Yang, at least.
So I decided to look him up. He was trained by Dusty Rhodes. kind of explains a lot why he was like trying to get the gimmick over.
Yeah.
Dusty
Speaking of
is
church,
the man.
yeah, that's how I would describe his singing is like the person that's singing along in church, but sings so quietly as to not be heard because they're not confident.
It's like he's in a convertible and like he's like in a convertible with the radio on and like Vanessa Carlton's playing and like the song's playing louder than he's singing, but then imagine if his radio cuts out, it's like da-na-na-na-na-na, I want you da-na-na-na-na-na, I need you. Just that kind of I'm kind of singing.
So Amazing Red at one point does his signature move, the infrared, which is a 540 corkscrew senton bomb, which it's a really cool move, but it looks like it hurts like a son of a bitch.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. The twins hit like a double Flanish spy.
The Flanish Spy, yes.
They hit the double Spanish fly from the top rope on Siaki. And Jesus Christ. There's like a pretty sick sunset flip power bomb, double DDT, like a weird double
Did
DDT.
you order the Code Red?
Did you order the Code Red?
I was talking. So, yeah, there's a Code Red, but the Elvises win with like a combination. Like, remember when the Hardys did like the leg drop swanton? It was kind of like that, but just like a splash.
Yeah.
I looked up Flanish.
I liked when Yang hit like a dual drop kick. That was also cool.
Yeah, so what happens is they hit that double top rope move and they pose. And then Sonny Siaki just pins them when they're not, or just pins one of them when they're not looking,
Yes.
and gets the win.
I saw
a really good match.
This was a pretty good match. I would give it like
this is a great match actually for the start of the show. I thought
on my Maeve Deltzer rating, I would probably give it like a 3, which is just pretty good match. Yeah,
good match.
There was a Elvis live sign on display in the crowd during this match, which I thought was kind of fitting.
So we cut to Don West, who's aggressively drinking water, and he's got like a silk blue shirt and a silk blue tie that sort of blends in.
I wasn't sure there even was a tie at some points because it was like, are we sure the shirt just doesn't have like a fold or something that I'm just like looking at seeing as a tie?
And just Ed Ferraro looks dirty. He looks dirty and like his shirt's open and you can see his chest hair.
I described Don West looking like he was wearing a graduation robe.
Oh yes. We noticed that the fucking monitors are weird.
Yeah, one of the
On the
monitors
table.
kind of fell in a little bit into the table.
They both look like they kind of sunk in because I'm used to the monitors being kind of like out at an angle so like the commentators can see it.
Yeah, so much for that.
So much for that, yeah.
So, Mike Tenay interviews Apolo, who's outside of Ricky Steamboat's office, and like Ricky Steamboat just sort of ignores him and walks by. And then he just talks about how like Ricky Steamboat doesn't respect him and he's corrupt. Because Apollo's won all of his matches. Why isn't he getting a fucking title shot?
He's unbeaten in singles. Like the only one he lost was I think Bagwell got pinned
Yeah.
and then cried about it. But I am on Apollo's side here. He is being overlooked entirely. He has won every singles match he's gone up against. He should have a title shot at some point,
He should
right?
at least be in the title picture, I think. He's pretty good.
He's pretty good too, yeah.
So, they eventually get to Steamboat's office where Goldilocks is like standing at. And pretty much what happens is the door opens, AJ Styles walks out, and Apollo tries to like get Ricky Steamboat's attention, which he's still here, by the way. He hasn't left yet. And Ricky
Okay,
Steamboat's
I
like,
was wrong.
Ricky Steamboat's just like, I'll talk when we want to. I'll talk when I fucking feel like it, dude. And then all of a sudden, Jerry Lynn shows up.
And then suddenly, like, yeah, they're turning a corner, a door opens, and just Jerry Lynn and AJ Styles like just rush out past like Goldilocks and start.
They kind of
fighting each
fight
other.
down a hallway and then get tackled through a bathroom door.
And I think like the Dupps were there and kind of bothering Ricky Steamboat. I guess.
Yes.
It's a whole mess.
Yes.
Poor
I
Goldilocks.
never saw AJ Styles walk out, so I just thought he was like in the room the whole time, and then this Jerry Lynn knew he was there somehow.
It took like it was a second of him walking out, but he walked out. He didn't do that thing where like you walk out and you pause for like just a camera take and then you walk out. No, he just fucking left. So yeah, the Dupps follow Ricky Steamboat to the ring and just accost him. And then Ricky Steamboat's just like, fuck it, do whatever. I don't care what you guys do. Just don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
And then Bo Dupp like raises his arms like, yay, we get to do what we want. And I'm thinking, an authority figure giving the wrestlers carte blanche to do whatever they want without knowing what that is seems like a very bad idea.
What are you talking about? Nothing bad's going to happen later. We got a title match between Ron Killings and Ken Shamrock.
Yes, it's Ken Shamrock versus the Truth for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
So here's the tale of the tape. Both are about the same height. Ken Shamrock's a little bit heavier than him. Truth is hungry. He's just hungry.
Someone give Truth a sandwich, please.
Ken Shamrock has walked the walk, but Truth is hungry.
I think it's also, like our Truth talks the talk. There's a year there, like the difference in experience is brought up.
But so our Truth comes out and we came out the stupid joke of, wait, we have catering? Nobody told Truth that.
I mean, yeah, there was Meatball's Kroger card, remember?
Fuck the Meatball Kroger card.
Oh my god.
That's catering.
That's just cheese whiz and flour.
Yeah, I know. He didn't get the hardcore oranges, Drew. I'm sorry.
Hardcore oranges, yes.
The prerequisite hardcore orange.
Thing you noticed when Ken Shamrock came out, he's fucking shredded.
He's never looked that like fucking muscly before. It's kind of nice though. It's a surprise he never got like a title of how built he is.
So
he either was sucking in his chest or his stomach, or it looked like his stomach had it almost looked like his stomach was dented. Just how compared to everything else.
I'm sorry, now I'm just imagining Ken Shamrock sucking in his chest, and that's a very horrifying mental image.
The commentary spent about half of this match just trying to justify why their world title match is going on second.
Yeah.
And saying it's a triple main event.
I remember them talking about running them. They're doing it now because because they don't want to run out of time during the show, but they always seem to manage that.
Well, they say that
anyway.
the match has a 1 hour time limit, but it doesn't even go 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this match, it had a little bit of a story to it. It was this thing of, like, Arch, like, fucking Ron Killings would, just know where he is in the ring to the point that, like, he could, he would know where he is to the ring to the point that, like, anytime Shamrock tried a submission, just he knew where the ropes were.
Now that's what we like to call ring awareness.
Yes.
Legitimately, that's ring awareness.
Yes, that is ring awareness. And the disciples are watching.
Disciples of the new church are here to,
And Monty Brown's,
monitor everything.
and Monty Brown's watching.
Monty Brown's watching because he doesn't like our truth.
And
Bolt at one point claimed that this match has been going back and forth from the beginning when it was only like 3 to 5 minutes in.
And fucking Chad's here.
And fucking Chad again.
Yes.
Fuck Chad.
God damn it, how are we not rid of Chad yet? Can we get the fuck out of Nashville? I don't want to be around
We moved
Chad.
venues and Chad's still there.
His sign was different. He had like a sort of like a drawing, I guess, of his face, and
Good,
had like
good. Then I know what
had
what to punch.
and had like an arrow or something. It looked like the play button from WrestleMania.
So,
Dude, how much you wanna bet
yeah,
with all
Apollo
these
runs
reviews?
out, and there's a big shit fuck outside brawl, and Ron Killings wins. He's our first ever black NWA champion, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Two things. First, that there was a sign that I pretty sure read "K Crush, where is MC Hammer?"
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And my question at the end of this match is, how was that massive interference not a DQ?
Yeah.
Why did the refs spend so much time running them off instead of signaling the timekeeper?
Guess maybe because it happened outside, it doesn't.
Maybe it's because Ken Shamrock's getting the fuck out of there.
Yeah, this is our last appearance from Ken Shamrock.
That we know
for
of,
I think
yes.
a few,
He comes back
or
in
at least for a
2004.
few years. Yeah, he comes out in 2004. This will be his last match, which sucks. But hey, at least they put the belt on somebody we like.
Yeah, Truth is actually talented, even if his gimmick's weird right now.
Yeah.
So, Apollo and Ricky Steamboat are, like, demanding to talk to each other. And, like, Ricky Steamboat says, but. And then the commentator's like, he must be mad because he said, but. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Oh yeah, because
I remember
like,
that.
something about his butt. Like he
So
said, butt
Ricky
like the
Steamboat
word.
comes
like,
out to deliver the ultimatum of, like, Apollo, you've been running wild for the last couple of weeks, trying to get a title shot. And I'm just like, he's been running rampant this week. The other weeks he would win his match, not Carlos Santana would play, and then he'd go home.
Yes, not Group by Carlos Santana would play, and then he'd go home, and he really actually does deserve a title shot.
And
Yeah.
because
how is it running rampant for him to just
he got involved in the title match.
get on Ricky Steamboat's case to give him a title match? That's not running rampant.
I mean, he was in that title match. I mean, he interfered in the title match, and so did Monty Brown.
So did everyone.
Because that's the way these matches work now, is just everyone interferes.
I can't even be sure that Apollo interfered. I'm just going on your word.
I think it might have been the Disciples, and then, like, Monty Brown chased them off.
Something like
Apollo,
that.
maybe.
And Jerry Lynn was there. Just a lot of people fucking interfered in that last title match.
Speaking of which, something that we should probably mention is something that you guys found out is after that title match, Ken Shamrock just left.
We said that, yes.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I missed it.
Why don't you listen to us when we're talking to you?
On
do.
a podcast that we're recording with you.
Sometimes I miss little things here and there.
Did you hear where Ricky Steamboat said but?
Yes.
Good, but. Okay,
Oh man, Alli's being very serious about this. He just said but.
So, because we're talking about title shots, Jeff Jarrett has to come out and bitch. That's what he does. He only his character is he comes out in bitches, and then just goes and hits people with a chair. That's all he does.
Yep.
So
it's like a prototype for Chavo Guerrero, but it's nowhere near as interesting.
Well,
Jeff says he's sorry.
Well, that's because Chavo was sick of Blue Demon Jr.'s shit.
Yeah.
Jeff says he's waited patiently for a title shot, yet he spent weeks attacking everyone with chairs, including the NWA console. Well, then again, he is a heel, so him lying, I guess.
He's also got a record of 2-2 in his run here in the NWA-TNA.
Yeah, stop being a fucking. Well, maybe it's his fault maybe it's his fault for being a loser. I don't know.
Yeah, what I was gonna say
You're
is
a loser.
He is a heel, so him lying feeds into that. You know why? You know, a heel isn't. Heels tell the truth? No.
So he says, why isn't he getting a title shot? Well, the answer is why it is he is.
It's good, slap nuts.
The answer is why it is he is. Reverse racism.
We are really going here, folks.
We are going the reverse racism route where Jeff Jarrett isn't getting a title because he's white.
Which is stupid.
Well, here's the thing. You know, just, Ricky Steamboat's Hawaiian, and Apollo's Puerto Rican, and Ron Killings is black. Ken Shamrock is white. Anyway.
I think all of our current champions, up until Truth 1, were white dudes.
Yes, they were.
AJ
Styles is very white.
And he has 2 belts.
AJ 2 belt. Jerry Lynn's white. I think he's like from New York or something.
Yeah. Or Michigan, I think.
He might be from Michigan, actually, yeah. Just northerner. He's clearly he's fair-skinned. Just, I don't think he's ever seen a tan in his life. You know?
Look it up. Yeah. Oh, he's from Minnesota.
Oh, that's real white. Okay.
That's a real white boy. Spoilers, but I'm also going to include Loki, who wins. Who is
I feel like he's not all the way white.
He's Italian and Puerto Rican, so
yeah, he's not all the way white.
He's of mixed race, but he doesn't win until later.
He's Italian, Puerto Rican, and cosplaying a Japanese man.
Yeah, and if we have to count him, Bruce is also a white man who is holding a women's title.
Yeah, wear that dress, Jeff. Okay,
yeah. Put on a dress and go fight Bruce. Anyway.
So
it's kind of essentially TNA's version of Santina Marella.
So just Ricky Steamboat says, "All right, Jeff, look, if you beat Apollo tonight, you'll get the truth."
This is bullshit.
And
Apollo's undefeated. What has Jeff Jarrett done to earn his title shot besides cry and hit people with chairs? Get good, slap nuts.
Yeah, get good, slap nuts. Apollo wins fair and square. He just fucking bodies people. That's all he does. I don't know what his finisher is off the top of my head. It might be a powerbomb or something, but yeah.
But he's good.
You would think Ricky Steamboat seemed kind of being the type of authority figure who makes fair.
No, he even says he'll be the special referee to call it down the middle.
Well, yeah, I mean, being the kind of authority figure who tries to make fair and rational judgments would say, like, Jeff Jarrett, you've been an asshole and you've actively attacked, important people, including the NWA Council. You're not getting this.
And Apollo, despite the fact that I've been overlooking you and you've been pretty reasonable about this whole thing and you just wanted to ask me for a title shot instead of demanding one, you're the equivalent of an asshole.
God.
So yeah, that's the end of that segment. And now for the longest segment in all of human fucking history. It's time for the Zero Heat Hour with Disco Inferno. I want to punch his face.
Am I gonna have to pull up the fucking fucking Cody Rhodes quote again?
I mean, we could use a refresher.
Hold on. I gotta fucking remember how it went, like, because it was amazing.
Well, I mean, he can't draw a dime unless you gave him pen and a paper, but that's not what he said.
Yeah. Let me pull it up.
So he is mad about his set because it's slightly different than it was last week. He's complaining.
Okay, here we go. Stop. You know nothing. You have drawn $0. No fan has ever left a show thinking about you. You are lucky to be a juiced up double lifer over with the boys type in an era where you hid in plain sight, coasting on other success. Couldn't hang then, can't get booked now. Thank you, Cody.
So,
right.
yeah, the Zero Heat Hour, where he complains about his set being changed, even though I think it's just like there's a corkboard now.
There's a corkboard and there's like new furniture again.
The chairs are just to the side. They're not gone.
They're not even as like bad as they were the first time we did Jive Talking, or we introduced the set.
And like the Jive Talking set has like a cardboard thing with Sharpie on it that says Jive Talkin', but it's like misspelled.
Yeah.
And out come the Dupps with Bo Dupp like riding a fake pony, or it might have been stand up. I don't know.
It might have been. Bo is the one who isn't Trevor Murdoch.
Okay, so B for Bo, B for Baint Trevor Murdoch. Got it.
B for bald, as in not bald.
As in Trevor Murdoch.
I don't know.
So yeah, I
think Stan had the lighter fluid, which I thought was like glue, and the joke was that he was sniffing glue.
No.
But no, it was lighter fluid.
So yeah, they come out with the fake pony, and they introduce that now that they can do whatever they want, that they're the new hardcore division, and they're introducing the Dupp Cup.
Why did they put WoW, keep it classy, NWA? Oh, because I think Disco Inferno actually just straight up called...
He called them retarded.
Called them retarded? Yeah,
thank
you. And I was like, oh, wow, Jesus Christ. All right,
so the Dupp Cup the Dupp Cup Invitational, which is a spittoon,
which they've apparently also drank moonshine and shit out of, like their dad drank moonshine out of it or whatever.
So they're introducing 10 rules, and the gimmick is you win the Dupp Cup if you get 10 points, and the 10 rules are related to points. Now, Imagine this being explained to you as slowly as possible in with shitty fake Southern accents and a chalkboard. That's
allow me to read off the point system for you.
Can I just say real quick though?
Oh yeah, they also mentioned their family, including their son Roundup, who I would like to point out has cancer.
And shit in the Dupp Cup apparently.
Yes.
And their father Pop Dupp,
who drank moonshine out of the Dupp Cup. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but I wanted to say that, if Disco was bothered by this so much to use the R word, why was he okay with them continuing on in the first at all?
Let him explain all the rules, beats included, beats for commentary, beats for the crowd. Just, oh my god.
All right.
I've never seen...
You would think he would be like, can we please stop? Okay, can we get on with it or something? I don't know.
Or just get out. But yes, let me read off the points. For
rule number 1.
Table spot is 2.5 points.
If you put your opponent through a table, that's 2.5 points. But
I'm trying to do a flaming table spot.
If you put them through a table that's on fire, that's 5 points.
Which explains why they had the lighter fluid.
Yes.
If you put your head into turlet, it's 2.5 points.
If you give your opponent a swirly, 2.5 points. If it's a swirly with a toilet full of
shit in it,
3.5 points.
And it's written as shit.
I've had enough of explaining it like them. You can explain it like normal.
Okay. 2.5 sexual assault is 2.5 points for women and 3.5 points if you sexually assault a man.
Yes.
You get 2.5 points if you beat up Jeremy Borash.
2.5 points for fucking Jeremy Borash.
And 2.5 points for attacking the ticket lady. Vase de Noches is 2.5 points. That's a deep cut for you. Okay, what they say is if you involve a farm animal in the match, 2.5 points.
Yes.
I just wanted
and then
to
they
get
don't
it.
explain what you would do with a pig.
Yes, exactly. That's why I got in my reference to the pig sex movie. Paddling an opponent with their hobby horse, Horsey Poo, is 2.5 points, but it is minus 2.5 points if the opponent likes it.
Why are we using decimals?
Because fuck it. It's like blank and a half, but fuck it. I just like.
Isn't there a cartoon that has like a character or an animal or like a horse named Horsey Poo? I swear there is.
Know.
I don't care.
Using their blow up doll J gets you 2.5 points. If you cry in the match, you lose 5 points.
Like a pussy.
Use of a weapon from a fan is a point.
Yes.
And that's like an addition they add on later. That's retroactive. And sticking your opponent's head in the cotton candy machine for a full rotation gets you 10 points.
Yes, and then Dupp takes his clothes off, or one of the Dupps takes his clothes off to reveal that he has like "I love you" Goldilocks.
I think it was Stan.
Yeah.
And then they offer 64 cents and a night with Fluff.
So
while
if
they
you
watch.
win the Dupp cut, and Paulina from Tough Enough's there.
And Paulina from Tough
And
Enough
she
there.
is huge.
She's huge. But I don't think she has any wrestling skill at all. It's entirely likely.
They mentioned that like 64 cents isn't really a good reason to like wrestle over this whole Dupp Cup thing. So they decide that the winner gets to fuck Fluff, but they get to watch. While they get to watch.
So Ed Ferrara wants to cuck the Dupps. So because he immediately accepts the challenge. So we are now in a match for the Dupp Cup.
Yes.
Again, another title held by two white guys. I think it's both of them. It might have just been Bo.
Ed Ferrara versus the Dupps and Ed Ferrara punches Jeremy Borash in the face. And this sucks.
This goes on forever. I have like
Ed Ferrara can't wrestle.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of chair shots and the
They
crowd
give Don West they give Don West the mic and he's just screaming into it about points.
You know what this makes me think of is like when Vince or Shane in WWE would wrestle, but Vince was never a wrestler, but when he actually started wrestling, he was jacked. He was just built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah, so and when Shane wrestled, he wasn't built like a brick shithouse, but he was out of his goddamn mind.
And willing to fucking go through plexiglass if need be.
Yes.
But it was like the thing, like, you could potentially believe that Vince could beat someone up because he just looked like he could wreck your shit. But Ed Ferrara I'm sorry, just is not believable in any way at all.
Just this sucks. So they brawl in the ring.
At this point, I also noticed a sign in the crowd, and I asked this question: how can you, in good conscience, carry a WWE sucks sign and present it during this segment?
Yeah,
I missed that.
So,
wow.
They brawl up the ramp. They kind of go in the back, and then like one of them tries to attack the ticket lady, who's actually just an elderly woman.
Yeah.
No.
Hey,
wait, not that one. No. Why is that the first search result?
Let me try something here. Play.
The fans had been completely dead for the majority of.
Damn it!
Yeah, that's what fucking happened.
Fuck you, Brian Zane. Why are you doing this to us? You're ruining our show.
She's a stunt girl.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thanks, guy who voices Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Thanks, Nick Backay. Damn it, Brian Zane.
Yeah, fuck Brian Zane.
They had been dead for a majority of the match until a group of when they were grabbing chairs from the audience and hitting each other.
Yeah, they fight the old lady, and the old lady starts chasing them
with the broom, which was pretty funny. That was the only highlight I felt of the
They grabbed the
match.
blow-up doll, Jay, and they hit him.
The fans keep calling for the ask the Dupps.
They
Use
throw-
my
they throw
chair.
Jay
Use my chair.
vagina first into Ed Ferrara, which is just a sentence.
Ed Ferrara grabs Horsey Poo, spanks Bo, and Bo likes it, so he loses points. And then Ed Ferrara loses after being put through a table. And then stand-up shows his ass.
Why are Bo Dupp's pants down? Why are we seeing his ass?
I should note that some of those shots that Ed used with the fucking horsey poo were not to the bare ass, so they wouldn't have counted anyway.
Yeah. This fucking sucks. I don't understand why someone would have this on their fucking show if they want people to enjoy it.
So by comparison, I want to note how much time did fucking Truth versus Shamrock for the world title get?
Roughly 9 minutes.
Roughly 9 minutes.
This segment was about 10, 15, and then the match was 6.
Yeah, so it got way more time than a main event, than a fucking world title match.
It went on after that fucking main event title match.
Yeah. I would have just... Holy
I don't think
Christ.
I've ever hated a match more than this one.
This is awful.
I think the only match I've ever hated more was when Jeff Hardy walked out high as shit against Sting. And Sting was just like, what the fuck's this?
What the hell?
And then, like, they had to, like, negotiate a bunch and then, like, just...
At least that match was short, in
Yeah,
a way.
Sting just DDT'd him.
Yeah.
So,
at the end of the match, by the way, at the end of the match, they finally put a blur on Bo Dupp's ass, even though they had shown it without a blur before, and I immediately go, why didn't you do that before?
So, they interview Monty Brown at a bench in a park.
They're just in a park. I imagine Ken Shamrock's going there right now to do another walk.
I'm walking home. I gotta go through this park first. So yeah, they just talk about Monty Brown in the NFL, and you know he went undrafted, and he had to
his
deal
thoughts
with,
on Truth.
and his thoughts on truth and politics and wrestling and the NFL. And then Elix Skipper just runs up and hits him with paint, even though I thought it was mustard at first because it's like bright yellow paint.
It's a bright yellow paint. I was very confused, and then it was like, oh my god, oh he's covered in yellow now, and I don't get it.
You're yellow now.
Why did he throw paint at him?
I don't know. When it comes to this show. I don't get it.
Anyway, Lars von Trier's TNA continues, and Don Harris versus Malice in a Who Cares match.
It was First Blood, yes, and also Rob cares.
Mike Tenay Googled what an Audad is. Good for him.
Yeah, we Googled it too, and we found out, oh yeah, it's a fucking...
Malice is a shark. They do a lot of brawling. It's just brawling. Slash grabs an ice pick, and then Don Harris grabs it.
James Mitchell asks why a bear pisses on a tree. I have a question, though. If Don Harris bleeds, and then they mark him with the blood of the Audad, would he get, like, Satan hep?
We're gonna give you hep.
They keep calling this box, which is supposed to hold the blood of the Audad, the Ark of the Covenant, and I'm going, sorry, it's way too small to be that.
Yeah, have you ever watched like an Indiana Jones film?
Exactly.
So, I'm sorry, I don't care. I don't care about this match at all.
No,
Don Harris lost. Fuck
it.
It wasn't as offensive at the last match, but it wasn't good either.
It just felt like compounding on to the crap.
Goldilocks is in the back again. Sonny Siaki's looking for Ricky Steamboat. Well, why didn't you talk to him earlier, you fucking moron?
Don't look at Sonny Siaki's ass.
Don't look at his ass. Bruce takes the microphone, and he wants to interview Taylor Vaughn. She calls him a homo. Then they kind of, like,
Lovely.
yell at each other, and then Loki and AJ Styles just show up in the same room to fight.
I feel like Bruce and Taylor start like saying like, oh yeah, so they agree to they agree to an evening gown match
Yes.
later on, and then just suddenly AJ Styles and Loki are just rushing into the women's locker room, beating each other up, and I'm just like,
were
oh
they
my!
fighting before, and they had to figure out which cameras were filming, or what?
Like, dude, that's probably the best answer I'm ever gonna get to the question of why did this happen. What happened to Jerry Lynn?
Jerry Lynn's around. Jarrett versus Apolo for the #1 contendership. There's a sign in the crowd that says, like, Robert Evans sucks, and I just say, I like Behind the Bastards. I don't know.
Robert Evans is a slap nuts, is what it said.
Yeah.
Or he's a slap nut. And it's like, man, what did Robert Evans ever do to you?
He might be Antifa. No, it's okay. But that doesn't mean he's a slap nuts.
Yeah. But the mat is all gross still.
Yeah.
This is where I notice, now it's especially covered in blood, and it's gross, and I hate it.
Ricky Steamboat's the ref. He just sort of does ref shit. He complains about Apollo taking something to the outside while Jeff Jarrett's outside.
You keep it in the ring. Like, Jeff standing outside the ring waiting.
There's a spot where Apollo bladed, and then Jeff Jarrett...
He bled like a fucking stuck pig.
There was one point that bugged me commentary-wise where Apollo was standing on the edge of the ring apron and Jarrett was on the floor, and then he kicks Jarrett while he's on the ring rope, and then commentary calls it a super kick, and I'm going, no,
that's
he
a
didn't
regular
get
kick.
That is a kick, sir.
He didn't get full extension of his leg.
There's a really long figure 4 spot where, like, Apollo passes out from the figure 4 leg lock. The leg lock makes him pass out.
You're being like, it can't be that painful that it makes you pass out. Like, this ain't.
He still woke up and flipped it over.
Exactly. This ain't fucking Bret Hart Stone Cold at WrestleMania here.
So we get to the finish after a okay match. I'm sorry. I've never been a huge fan of Jeff Jarrett. It just sort of feels like he just doesn't have a distinct wrestling style.
He's a sudden wrestler man.
Yeah, but like, what are his moves besides the stroke? Do you know his moves?
The figure 4.
1.
And hitting people with a guitar.
That's not a move. That's a guitar.
It's hitting people with chairs.
That's a chair.
What does he
do? What does he do besides punching?
I'm looking at his moves. So his finisher moves were the El Kabong, running DDT, the figure 4, and the stroke. His signature moves included a diving crossbody, double leg slam, double underhook face buster. Wait a minute.
I'm Triple H.
I'm Triple H, slap nuts.
Drop kick, enziguri, lariat, leapfrog body guillotine, power slam, sleeper hold. Yeah, it really mostly nothing special at all, really.
So the finish is just the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Oh.
So Apollo starts to get the upper hand, and he hits his big moves, and he pins Jeff Jarrett. Steamboat does this thing where he counts like 1, 2. Jeff Jarrett gets his arm up because he's slow counting. 3. So he counts 3 with Jeff Jarrett's arm up. Now, if you're a logical person, you would think, oh, Ricky Steamboat's taking Apollo's side. Right?
No. Well, yes, but...
Yes, because if Jeff Jarrett kicked out of a pin and he counted 3 anyway, That means he fucked over Jeff Jarrett. Now, what actually happens is after he counts 3, he stands up and calls Jeff Jarrett the winner.
What?
He calls him the winner for kicking out of a pin that he counted 3 for. So Apolo is wondering, like, if he just kicked out of my pin, I'd just beat his ass and pin him again. But no, that's not how this fucking works. Jeff Jarrett wins because he kicked out of a pin.
Fucking and the worst part, after all this stupid, and we're just hearing like Ricky Steamboat go, yeah, you won the match, Jeff Jarrett. You've got the truth, but I didn't say it was going to be a title match. And you've got the truth in a match for the tag titles against AJ Styles and Jerry Lynn. Like, what?
How does Steamboat interpret what Jarrett wanted to be a shot at the tag titles? Well, Steamboat is a fucking moron.
No, he did the wordplay thing where he's like, I'll get your truth if you beat Apollo. And then he made it so he beat Apollo, even though Apollo was fucking pinning him. And you think getting your ass kicked by a 260-pound Puerto Rican would teach him his lesson, but no, he wants to put Jeff Jarrett in a title match. A tag title match.
I think I swear they justified the finish by, even though, that Jarrett was the one pin, Apollo somehow had his shoulders down during it.
This isn't a fucking double pinning situation, though.
It wasn't a double pin, like, that kind of weird roll-up where both their shoulders are down. No, it was a straight lay across his body pin. And then Jeff Jarrett got his shoulder up, and he counted 3, and that means Jeff Jarrett wins. No, this is why no one gives a shit about TNA.
This is why it's. I don't know how it's still running, but it is. And this is why it took forever for it to get anywhere.
This is why it took forever for it to be relevant, for it to be good. And the worst part is, they could have been good a long fucking time ago. They had the exposure. ROH had better wrestling, but they had the audience.
They had the possibility of, like...
They had the potential to be a competitor. And they fucking threw it away because they couldn't stop stroking their dicks on stupid shit like this. They have fantastic wrestling. Absolute fucking bangers of, like, AJ Styles and Jerry Lynn and the fucking Flying Elvises and those Puerto Rican guys. Like, they're all great. You have young talent who you can make into fucking stars. And yet, this shit's happening.
So this match
all because of Vince fucking Russo.
And just and the crowd chants bullshit, by the way, and Apollo's pissed, and Steamboat's like, I'll tell you why in the back. We go into the back now. The match is over, Apollo.
I remember that during the match.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, he got the tag title shot because they played Who's On First with Ron Killings' name.
I remember during the match, they had their commentary was saying, this has been nonstop action since the start of the pay-per-view. I'm going,
fuck off.
Did you guys just forget the Dupp's taking several minutes to list their hardcore rules? But then again, I suppose it would be weird if the commentators just came out and right away and said, yeah, that part sucked.
It's just, they had the opportunity to be a solid number 2. Not just number 2 by default. I don't think they would have beaten WWE. No, that's wishful thinking. But if they stopped doing this stupid fucking shit, they'd probably be in the black in like 2010. You know?
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to bring in Hulk fucking Hogan.
The only time I've ever heard a commentator actively bury a show was Michael Cole on it was, I think, the 2nd or 3rd season of NXT. I think that was the season with the women.
Occasionally, commentators will bury a segment when it's like when they're given the audible of this is this is bad. I think there was
But I
like a
think
Brad
they do
Maddox segment that they had to shit on once.
I think they usually do it a little bit more subtly, though.
Yeah,
They
like whenever
they don't outright just come and say, "Oh, this sucks."
if they are called something bowling shoe ugly, you know he's fucking done with that match.
Bowling shoe ugly. Yeah. This pissed me off so much. Like, first of all, Jeff Jarrett, I don't know if he's writing himself, like if he has creative or not.
I feel like he does since he's a founding member of this fucking experiment.
His character is dog shit. And
his character sucks.
And Apolo, they're doing my boy Apolo dirty. You know, I ironically liked Apolo, but now I actually like Apolo. Fucking go Apolo.
He's everything.
He's everything.
He literally is. He's strong. He's fast. He can fucking go in the ring. He can work.
He's got an accent, but he can talk.
He can talk.
He just needs to slow down a little bit because he started becoming unintelligible. You know, what can you do about that?
You know, it happens. But still, they have a perfectly good chance to get, if not a world champion, then a great X Division champion out of Apollo.
And my question to Jeff Jarrett at this time is, why the fuck would you even listen to Vince Russo? Like, I'm thinking of that one time in like WCW where he laid down for Hulk Hogan, and then Hulk Hogan quit, and then like Vince Russo just came out and started talking shit about everybody. Just fuck this guy. He's dragging you down. He's
not your friend. He's a fucking moron.
He's not your friend. He's a fucking moron, and he's trying to get himself over. That's all he does.
He hates wrestling. He really does. He hates wrestling.
He hates wrestling. He hates the boys in the back. He likes him. He likes himself. And he'll either show up on TV if you let him, or have people be his mouthpiece. I can tell when someone's his mouthpiece because they're like, "Oh, you're dumb. You're fucking southern retarded dumbass." Just
yeah, like the whole thing with the Dupps just alone, just as you've said, Alli, is like he's writing for a southern audience, but he writes it with such fucking contempt for that audience that I am blown away. I am blown away that the audience actually comes to the show.
I think he has contempt for all wrestling fans, but especially Southern wrestling fans.
Especially the South, because they've never
we made Southern jokes. Like our friend Rob, he's from Virginia. We shit on him constantly, but like, it's a demo. This is a demo. It's a demo that WWE doesn't have.
You could appeal to them so easily.
You could even pander them. You kind of pandered to them back when you had Toby Keith. I don't even like Toby Keith, but that's a good pander move.
You know, I don't give a shit about NASCAR, but you know what? Bringing in Hermie Sadler was probably your best move.
Even though he made R-Truth look like a bitch, but whatever.
Yeah. You could give one of the wrestlers a NASCAR gimmick, like fucking,
or a NASCAR enthusiast gimmick, or just Jamie Noble would be great for this.
Make Jimmy Yang a cowboy. He would be gangbusters down there, man.
Jamie Noble would get over like
absolutely, dude. Like underdog Southern guy, like straight from a trailer park, but like endear him to the crowd by just he just tries real hard and shit. It sucks.
This sucks not just because it's regular bad wrestling on its face, it's also because it has the potential to be so much better.
I'm the kind of guy who... I used to be that guy, that negative wrestling fan who's like, "Oh, it's bad, it makes me want to kill myself. This sucks, man. It's bad." But like, I just see this from like a wider view of like experience and perspective, and I just sort of think that like, why do you have all your why do you have an entire tool set at your disposal, and yet you're fixing the car with the fucking banana?
It's like I think you once said that booking should be like, because you were talking about Adam Blampier's fantasy booking thing for like ECW. It's like and how like when you're fantasy booking, it should be like what's in your fridge, you know?
Yes.
Work with what you have. And you've got some really good shit in your fridge.
It's the what's in your fridge mentality of like, let's say you are so closed off that everyone you have is who you have. You can't just shell out a shitload of money and get a big guy over from WWE. This is your lot. What can you do with it? And they can do a lot of shit with it, dude.
You had Ken Shamrock. You had some really good tag workers, some great X Division guys.
I can grab 8 dudes off the top of my head from that roster, and I couldn't make a main event scene around them. Jeff Jarrett wouldn't fucking even be in it.
Scott Hall, because at least he's an established talent.
Well, Scott Hall's our Chris Jericho, like AEW Chris Jericho, of like, he's there because people know him.
Yes.
And then you got all these other people that people don't know, like Apolo and Ron Killings and Low-Key and AJ Styles and Jerry Lynn and fucking just break up the Flying Elvises, put Sonny Siaki as a solo guy, Jorge Estrada as a solo guy, Jimmy Yang.
You've got the Shane twins were absolutely hosed by being turned into penis men.
Just make your Shane twins your tag team guys. Fucking, I know Amazing Red's a baby, but he'll fit in just fine.
He'll do good.
What the fuck? Oh, and fuck, I didn't even talk about Monty Brown.
And heck, the disciples of the Mitchell's guys aren't bad either.
I don't even like Malice, but put him in there. Fuck it.
Fuck it. You got a monster heel you could work with. Put him in a mask if you need to. I feel like you could work it.
Slash is all right. I remember Slash.
We haven't seen Devin Storm in forever.
Yes, Storm Harris. That's another tag team division. You bought.
No, I meant Devin Storm.
Oh, sorry, Devin Storm. You brought Sabu. Hey, where the fuck did Devin Storm go? What the fuck?
Where's Sabu? Is also a good point. Where's Sabu?
You had all those guys on that one X Division match, like fucking Christopher Daniels.
And do you know what's the best way to get them over? Have them fight Scott Hall. They don't even have to win. They just have to look competent. That'll get them over.
You know what would be great with all the X Division talent they showed us in that one match? Have like a fucking X Division tournament.
Like a full tournament with 8 dudes. You know, you have to have them win.
I love tournament brackets. Tournament brackets are fun.
Yeah, the one night tournament was all right, but like if they did like a multi like day tournament or like a multiple like taping tournament, would have gotten that title over way better.
Yeah, fuck, man. It's like you have a gourmet steak in your fridge, and yet every night
I have all the parts for it.
You have all the parts to make like a gourmet steak and like a wine reduction, fucking like sick ass rosemary butter sauce with like the what's the name of that one sauce? Fuck it. Just like a nice port reduction, all that
like
shit.
Like an aioli of some kind.
Yeah, and you're sitting there making fucking popcorn.
You're making Hungry Man.
Russo is also
not even Hungry Man. Hungry Man might be good. You're making like a banquet frozen dinner.
You're making like a Celeste pizza. When you have like a make a steak kit with all the instructions.
You're making like a banquet frozen dinner where the corn like got into the brownie.
Yeah.
The worst thing.
And like just like the chicken patty that is just like a big chicken nugget.
Yeah.
Another problem Russo shows on this show is that he seems to be like this guy who can't help himself when it comes to looking at what matches he has on the card and goes, man, there's thousands of normal matches. Why have a normal match? Why not have an evening gown match? Why not have the Dupps make up their own hardcore division with a bunch of stupid rules?
I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna be different.
You know what? Let us transition back into actually talking about the show. We got the evening gown match. It happened. I genuinely have nothing else to say besides that.
Some lady
Bruce is in a dress. Someone's died in the crowd, I guess.
someone got murdered in the crowd.
Yeah, some lady just keeps screaming murder during the match.
Kiwi, I know this is the thing you do. You're not
I would
paid
get-
enough for this.
Alan Funk, you do not get nearly enough money for doing this.
I don't think they're going to give you any respect or money or anything for going or like trying this hard for them.
You're just there for Vince Russo to make gay jokes, and that has to be the saddest life.
Just go somewhere else. Don't enable him. Fuck that guy.
So yeah, Taylor Vaughn loses the evening gown match, and Bruce
Yeah, and,
retains
like,
his Miss TNA
Bruce
title, and
strips
then he
off-
strips.
Bruce strips off Taylor Vaughn's clothes by going, ooh, yucky, and like gingerly pulling back her dress. And he's like, I don't want to touch your butt. Ew, it's gross, girls.
He doesn't want to get infected with the hetero.
Yeah, he doesn't want the straight on him, and then he wins and shows his ass. He's wearing like a thong and a garter belt, but they blur it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least they blurred it this time, but I was like, oh god, not ass again.
You know, I'm not
You can never escape ass on this.
I'm not the
on
moral.
WRASSLEBOYS, can we?
I'm not a moral guy. Like, honestly, if you say fuck or shit in front of me, I don't care. There's children in the crowd.
There's children in this fucking crowd. There's children.
There's children in the crowd. What they don't let kids into the Jerry Springer set, you fucking dunce. I'm like, what the fuck?
This was probably just like a day at the fair or something for them. And they thought, let's go see a wrestling show.
Yeah, I
And
just...
we got this.
It's bad, it's stupid, it's pointless. Like,
And
I was pissed before.
Oh, wait.
I was pissed before, but now I'm just sad at this point.
I mean, to be fair, just bare butt is not the worst thing that gets you. It's all the offensive material.
Look, man,
It's
if you're gonna be the fucking, well, we're pushing the envelope, we're almost TVMA. Make your show adults.
Make your show adults.
Card your fucking crowd.
Didn't they make
Yeah.
a joke about like the Dupps wanting to pay only child prices or something and having to pay adult or like the
Yes.
opposite?
I bet they did, yeah.
Why is there any point where there's child price tickets? No, this is an adults only show.
If you're gonna pull this shit, it is. Yeah.
Especially if you're gonna pull this shit. Like, you have to be 18 or older, maybe a little, maybe at most 15 could probably handle this.
Maybe. It's gotta be like you're buying an M-rated game at a GameStop.
Yeah, you gotta have ID on you. Don't let children watch this shit.
Don West now has to barter with you to stay.
Begs you to stay, shows off the t-shirts poorly.
He shows off an AJ Styles shirt, but doesn't unfold it.
So
yeah, he's not doing a good job. He doesn't hold them up properly so we can see the design.
Then he grabs a limited time TNA shirt and then just fucking throws it before we can see it.
It was like for the debut pay-per-view.
Then we got a hat. It's $20. It's a little steep for me. I'd probably go
Like,
for
hold
15.
the fucking shirt so Don can like show off the fucking designs. Jesus Christ.
And now we get to our actual main event. Low Key
Our
versus
actual-
AJ Styles versus Jerry Lynn for the X Division Championship.
AKA, if you actually feel like watching this show based on our talking about it,
Look,
just
go on
watch this match.
go on YouTube or Daily Motion or wherever the fuck you go. Or if you want to go on Impact Plus, they have better pay-per-views. We watched Rebellion that same night, and it was pretty good. Like
that was not bad.
Impact, TNA/Impact has gotten way the fuck better than it ever was.
So
It's just upsetting that they could have been
find
at this
it
level.
online, watch it, ignore the rest of the show. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Except maybe the Flying Elvises and
Flying Elvises versus the Spanish announce team is also pretty good, but
Lynn has the USA theme. AJ has like a beanie with like a little part cut out at the top so his hair pokes out and it looks stupid.
hate it.
They called AJ Styles a mark instead of a marked man.
Well, they said he was a marked man. I joked that like Don West just said AJ Styles is a mark. It should have been a great call.
And this match is fantastic.
This could have been the whole pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I didn't really take any notes because I was just too engrossed in
I
enjoying
mostly wrote down spots. There was an
I
over
wish
the
I had
top.
wrote down spots.
There was like a slingshot victory roll, but like they were still holding on to each other, and it turned into like a German suplex roll-up thingy, which looked pretty cool. There was like a super power bomb into a superplex.
Ooh.
There was shitloads of roll-ups. Everyone started rolling up each other. Then they all started doing each other's finishers. Like Loki hit a Styles Clash and like I think
AJ
Lynn
hit the pile driver.
Lynn hit the Key Crusher and like some other shit. Oh wait, no. I think Loki did the package.
Or the fucking, what's it, like something pile driver.
The
cradle pile driver.
The cradle pile driver, and then Lynn hit the Key Crusher, and it was neat. There was a ref bump. AJ hits Lynn with a chair. This goes on for about like 17 minutes. It was pretty decent length.
Yeah.
There's this weird spot where like Low-Key hits his finisher on Lynn, and AJ goes for the spiral tap. But when he lands the spiral tap, the pin continues. Like, he didn't break up the pin, and it's a 3 count.
Also, during the fucking spiral, like, when he hits the spiral tap, I think Don West called it the Styles Clash. It's like,
he called it the Styles Clash.
He made multiple weird calls mistakes during this match. I noticed. I forget what the other there was like at least one other weird call he made that I forget what it was.
Jeff Jarrett's in the back. And then AJ sort of just starts beating up Jerry Lynn. And then a bunch of security shows up, and like one of the security's like just a child.
That is a teenager right there.
There's like a 13-year-old in a security shirt. It's weird.
Yeah. There's like, why is there a kid as a security person?
Oh, excuse me. Oh, God.
So they brawl, and we're out of time.
And we're out of time again.
I'm not happy.
Alli just exploded on this episode, folks. I've never seen him legitimately work. Like, that was Spoonie levels of worked up you just got. You were pissed.
For all the stuff that Spoonie went through, even that just does not compare to this.
I hate wasted potential more than I hate bad product.
And that's, I think, what got him, was he just realized there's so much good happening here, so why is this on the show?
I think I shouted at one point during the main event, why are they here? Why is AJ Styles and Jerry Lynn and Low-Key in this fucking dump?
In this absolutely...
No! That's my constant response. Why? I don't know what this show is. I don't get it.
Thanks for blowing out my my audio.
Really peaked there. So yeah, that is like, this is probably the worst of.
This is probably the worst TNA pay-per-view we've seen.
Right,
which sucks because it has a fantastic match on it.
It has two good. It has a good match and it has a great match. But it's
the
just
X-Division
so
is the
intimidating.
only thing I swear that has any merit almost in this company
The only thing
at this
that's
point in
keeping this
time.
fucking company alive, really.
I don't know why they think anyone gives a shit about this stupid bullshit that Vince Russo thinks is entertaining. I don't
know why. I don't know how they think this guy actually knows what he's doing.
How do you trick people into thinking you're competent is my question, I guess.
I genuinely don't know. I don't know how this guy
like a one-hit wonder. He nailed it once.
He nailed it once.
You think people would just go, "All right, this guy doesn't have it."
And you know that's unfair to a lot of one-hit wonders, because a lot of them are just really good people that couldn't cross over due to lack of like appeal because, you know, they're foreign. Or just guys
Yeah,
that got
but, like,
screwed over by their label.
Look, man, if you fall down the stairs and you somehow write a novel because your face hit the keyboard the right amount of times, how do you convince anyone that you know what you're doing?
I don't know.
I just look at the audience that they continually seem to be able to have during these pay-per-views, and I'm just thinking to myself, Vince Russo thinks you're stupid, and you're proving him right by showing up.
Really, like in a sane and just world, I think Vince Russo would be known as a guy who makes like really bad low grade B movies that show up on like Best of the Worst and always get destroyed.
Yeah, like he's Things or whatever it's called, or The Jar.
Thing or The Jar. Like he's that. He's not a guy who's known for working in several wrestling companies. It just isn't right.
I don't know. Like, I don't hate people. Like, in general, you have to do a lot to make me hate you. Like, you have to be like a pedophile or something for me to hate you, right?
Like,
but like,
Vince Russo's a sack of shit, but he's not.
He's a sack of shit, and he tells, he's made a show entirely out of his disdain for you and what you like.
Yes.
What I don't understand is that there's still people that follow him to this day.
He has a podcast.
He has like a fucking podcast, and people actually listen to it.
So listen to WRASSLEBOYS, WRASSLEBOYS.com. No, okay.
Really? No, actually, just listen to WRASSLEBOYS. Anyway, let's get on to the awards.
Awards.
So we're going to do something a little bold and something that's probably not going to happen too often. Much like when we gave a tag team underrated, not one person has MVP, not two people. Free.
AJ Styles, Low-Key, and Jerry Lynn all win MVP this week.
All collectively. I know, it's crazy, but they all told you.
If you have a problem with that, fucking fight me.
Fight the both of us. Come on.
Like, I'm not a fighter, but I could sit on you and you wouldn't like that.
Square up.
Challenge us to a trios match. We'll all fight you.
Square up.
Just, they carried the whole show. I felt joy watching them. I felt joy, like a joy that had like a simmering hatred and negativity underneath it, because I just sort of felt like,
this should have been more.
You three are in the prime of your fucking lives. You're here.
Jerry Lynn's was in his 30s, so that's like the peak point of your career. Once you're in your 30s, you're gonna be doing your best work.
Yeah, you know, and what, he's fucking here. I don't get it. Like, WWE let him go like 3 months ago because he fucked his knee up, and they thought, oh, he would take too long to recover, and he's up here in fucking Nashville blowing the fucking house down.
You know what I would compare it to is, I've heard a lot of people say who've played the 2006 Sonic game, the Sonic, which was called Sonic the Hedgehog, that the music is really, really good, but it's like, why is it in this game? Because the game itself sucks. I would compare it to that. Like, these wrestlers are here, but why are they here?
Or like that one actor in a really bad movie who is so much bad, who blows everyone out of the water. I always go back to Dan Janjigian, or however you pronounce his name, the guy who plays Chris R in The Room, who wasn't even an actor.
Yeah, but he nailed his lines.
But he so got into he so dug himself deep into that method style that he just fucking nailed it and convinced like people that this guy wasn't an actor, but a drug dealer who somehow got on the set.
Yes.
It's like, what the hell?
The only thing I can understand that people might not like about Jerry Lynn is he's kind of a quiet dude. But
he's kind of a quiet dude. He can't cut a great promo.
If you don't know how to write around that, then you're a shit writer.
You know, it is as Jim Cornette said when they sent Matt Morgan back to OVW. Oh, wait, it wasn't Cornette, but Cornette had overheard the story. It was Kenny Bolin who said this, where Matt Morgan said, they brought me back here because the writers didn't have anything for me. Kenny Bolin, who never worked with WWE Creative at that point, he was strictly like an OVW like worker, said, Bustley, fire the fucking writers.
If you can't find something for someone, find someone who will.
Find someone who will.
A good enough writer can make anything work.
Anything.
It doesn't matter how stupid the premise is. It doesn't matter how silly it is. It doesn't matter how much it doesn't fit. A good writer can make a shit idea fucking amazing.
That's why that WWE, for example, has no excuse when they let someone go for, oh, we don't have anything creatively for you. That's why we're letting you go.
Yeah. And speaking of people who have been getting just hosed by creative, underrated is Apolo, of course.
Yeah, he's everything.
He is everything.
You know, my underrated was Amazing Red, actually.
You know what? I'll say that's fair.
It's fair, but I kind of agree with Mega Fighter that I feel like Apollo got fucked.
Yeah,
especially
Apolo
because
way more.
he's on his way out in the next couple of months. They just completely wasted him here.
Yeah, you know, another person they wasted, I think could have done great things in the company, Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
Ken Shamrock was their world champion, and they just kind of left, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, I would probably get the fuck out of there too. It's just, I imagine the environment's really toxic.
And also, that UFC money is probably still good while he still can get it.
Yeah, he fucking kept ping-ponging between TNA and Bellator and UFC for the last couple of years of his career.
Yeah.
Like, he'd come back if no one was ringing for a fight, but as soon as someone did, he was back in that fucking octagon. It's like, oh, someone wants to fight me. All right, see it.
Apparently he's now promoting. He's been promoting bare knuckle boxing since 2019.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, what? Okay, Ken Shamrock,
Ken Shamrock's like, let's fucking go. I don't care if I'm 50, whatever. I'll fucking do it.
I get Ken Shamrock, a man of many talents, fucking fighter, wrestler, and promoter.
Yeah. I always thought Ken Shamrock was fucking cool, so yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh yeah, so why segment? I have in all caps, why did Jarrett win?
But
I can
Roktan,
I can be persuaded.
Dupp Cup or why did Jarrett win?
You know, why did Jarrett win is more confusing, but if you were going to go with worst segment, that would be the Dupps.
Ah, fuck.
You know, I can see what he's saying. Like, it definitely is a why did this happen? Like, I think that's the main question of the why segment is why did this happen, right? Or why is this here?
The why segment in my head is a segment that serves no purpose, doesn't benefit anyone, and only exists to exist. Right?
You know what? I'm gonna say then Roktan's actually on the right path. The Dupp Cup.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the Dupp segment wins that by a landslide.
It was the most pointless fucking thing on the show.
And it ate up so much fucking time.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm gonna say yeah.
This show eats a bag of dicks.
Eats so many dicks.
I don't think there's a sign of the week because I don't fucking care.
I mean, are you saying that the Robert Evans is a slap nut isn't winning this one?
He's a journalist and a podcaster.
Just because you like Behind the Bastards doesn't mean he's not a slap nut, Alli.
He might be a slap nut. I don't know.
He might be a slap nut.
After watching this show, I felt like it was starting to get a headache just thinking about how awful it was.
I legitimately have gone down like 3 steps in my mood since we started this. I feel like shit. WRASSLEBOYS. WRASSLEBOYS on anywhere you could get a podcast. WRASSLEBOYS on Twitter.
We also have our website, wrestleboyspod.wordpress.com.
Yes, we started our new project, Toku Boys. It's on this podcast for now because Anchor wouldn't let me make a second account.
Yeah, we can't make a separate podcast for Toku Boys, but if you guys want to hear us just kind of puzzling at the first 5 episodes of Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger, which is the series that was adapted in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, check it out, you know?
Yeah, it's fun and kind of nonsensical in a lot of ways. It is.
Yeah.
It really is like the. It really is just the equivalent of just pretty colors. The show.
Yeah. I watched some episodes with you guys. Yeah, I would say it's confusing, but it's a fun kind of confusion, whereas this show isn't.
No,
No,
this
no.
show is suffering.
Infuriating.
We upload episodes onto YouTube sometimes when I get around to it.
Yeah.
I noticed there was a massive spike in viewership this week, and
oh my god! Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I don't
I'm
know
not
why you're
really
here.
sure why there was such a up spike. Do you guys enjoy making us suffer through this?
I don't know why, but thanks, I guess.
Really, like, we do appreciate what you guys actually viewing this, because it's like we'd fun. No one would want to watch us talk about wrestling like this.
Wrestling. Sorry.
I know. As soon as I said it, I was like, wait.
I appreciate you fans, but at the same time, I hate you for making us watch this.
No, I hate
we're
NBC.
You're not making us watch this. It is our choice.
I
really.
hate NBC Universal for making me have to come up with something else to watch.
Right?
Yeah.
And also, I'm still mad at you, Just Incredible, for following us on Twitter.
Why? Why?
I don't know.
It's just
I
a
need somebody to be angry at.
friendly bald guy who likes falling through tables and wearing jean shorts.
And has a dumb wrestling name.
Okay,
Did you know it means just incredible?
yeah. So that should do us for now.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah. So what do we always say to end off an episode of WRASSLEBOYS? I'm trying to remember.
She's a stunt granny.
That's